What is up, guys? It's Slay here, and welcome back to another World of Warships gameplay. And today we are going to go over the patch notes for the upcoming update. Starting off with the campaign ship, we have the Okav, which is a Russian light cruiser. Of course, we have a lot of light cruisers since it's meta right now in World of Warships Legends. But the Okav is not one of those light cruisers that you think will be spamming HE behind a mountain and farming damage from afar. This is more of a up in close combat cruiser. It's more of a cruiser that is supposed to be a little aggressive towards DD since it has radar and sonar. Along with that, it also has 8 kilometers torpedoes along with 35 knots. So we're going to see this ship mostly in the mid to close up combats. So this ship might, I don't think it might affect the meta for World of Warships right now. I do think it's a very interesting ship, to say the less, since, you know, again, it has sonar, radar, and it also has 8 152 millimeter guns, so it is going to be very interesting how this ship it is played. It does have an average concealment, so I don't know how this ship is going to survive under battleship high caliber guns and everything, but it is most likely a DD hunter nonetheless. We are going to move on to the rank battles, which are the rank battles season 10 and 11. It's going to be a little change up for these two seasons. It's going to be more of a 3-day sprint between both of them. So most likely the dates are probably going to be on the weekend. I have not checked the dates yet. But it is a 3-day sprint instead of the usual 3 weeks or 4 weeks that we have for ranked battles. There is only 7 ranks, so try to division up with one of your friends. They did change up the how many people you're allowed to have in a division, and it's only 2, so yeah, no more third wheeling anymore, unfortunately, but try to get that in for your they did change up the steel, unlike the arena, which is giving us 2,500 for top 1%. It's going to be 700 per season, and since it's a 3-day sprint, you know, that's 1,400 right there. Add that to your 2,500, and that is 3,900 steel. Inching closer and closer to the Missouri, so try to get that in. So season 10 starts on March 12th to the 15th, and it is the tier 4 ships, so this is going to be a little pain in the butt if you are doing the seasons by yourself. So I do recommend, again, getting a division mate. Season 11 is from March 19th to the 22nd, and it is the tier 5 ships, so it's going to be a little more like arena, except there's only going to be 7 ships instead of the usual 9. Correction. The teams are 5 players each, not 7. Correction there. It is, like I said, division up to 2 players are allowed. Destroyers are only limited to 1 per team. And players who reach rank 1 will no longer be able to participate in the rank battles during the season. The Americans are getting a new destroyer commander. This is very interesting on Wargaming to decide that the Americans do lack a boat commander that has concealment and torpedoes for the destroyers. So this is really good news for those American DD players. Really good news. Let's see how the other commander is going to be used. Most likely not. So I want to see how Wargame makes the other commander more useful, since he's not, or most likely not, going to be used as much. So the Conqueror and the Gearings are back into the game. We did had a test run for them in January, which was the New Year's. The Conqueror is or was one of my well-performed ships, so I am going to be in my bureau and trying to unlock it as soon as possible. I did not try the gearing, unfortunately, but the ship was a pain in the butt to play again, so I am looking forward to unlock it later in the future. To the surprising, there's only been one cruiser in the bureau, which is the Alaska. So I don't know if Wargaming is doing some balancing for the cruisers, or they see them as a vital underperforming ships or anything else. I don't know if they're holding back to bring more cruisers into the game. So I don't know what Wargaming is doing there, but can't wait to see the cruisers because, as myself, I'm more of a cruiser main. So I do want to see more cruiser legendary ships into the game. There is some balance changings, which are consist of the Bismarck and the Azuma. They're both getting a main battery accuracy improved by 3%. This is going to change up for them a lot. It's going to give them a little boost in how many people play it. The Bismarck is also getting a guaranteed ricochet angle for its main batteries increased from 60 to 65 degrees. So, which this means is you're most likely going to be able to penetrate other ships at an angle that your shell goes from. Which, before the Bismarck, if you angled your ship against a Bismarck pretty well, you were able to deflect the shells coming from the Bismarck. So they have increased it from 60 to 65. So you're most likely going to get some damage, or who knows, maybe even Citadel. Since this is a pretty much difference in angle trajectory they have changed. They also have changed the penetration of AP shells, but it's only a 4% increase. But that's still the difference between a Citadel or not a Citadel whenever a ship is angled. So, like the Wichita, Baltimore, other 380 millimeter armored, or not armor, meant to say shells that could withstand 300 millimeter shells. Is going to be a really different approach to how you are going to angle your cruiser now against the Bismarck. So I can't wait to see how this, boost, let's say more of a buff, will improve the Bismarck's how you people are going to use it now, since the Bismarck is usually a secondary build. But there are players that use the Bismarck as a dispersion build, so for those dispersion builds, it's going to see a major buff in there. We're going back to the Azuma. We have mentioned the main battery accuracy already. We're going to move on from the rudder shift, which has been decreased from 13.9 to 10.7. So this improvement is going to definitely make players use the Azuma more. The reason for that was the Azuma was harder or more difficult to turn, and the Azuma is most likely to get Citadel when broadside. So I'm really curious to see how this Azuma rudder shift time is going to improve her. Angles at which AP shells start checking for ricochets increase from 45 to 50 degrees. So, which this means is whenever she shoots at an angled ship, the chances were that those angled ship weren't doing any damage, so it was ricocheting. So they have improved it from 45 to 50 degrees. So this means that if a ship is angled at a 50 degrees, it's most likely going to inflict damage than they were before. Her repair kit now regenerates 20% more HP per second. Very interesting to see this because The only nation that has a repair kit that regens, more than half your health or more than 25 or 30% of your health is the British. The British have some ships have greater heal. Seeing that the repair kit's gonna regenerate 20% more HP for the Azuma is very interesting. It's going to probably impact the meta when it comes to heavy cruisers, but I hope it really helps out the Azuma because I had been against the Azuma many times. I have Citadel the Azuma. It feels like a paper thin ship, so I'm really excited to try the Azuma. They have changed the rotation of the maps, which is a good news. I was tired of playing on Sleeping Giant and Tier Deserts. And ironically, we are playing on Tier Deserts in the background, as you can see. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Greece and other maps into the game. I'm really excited for that. Next, we have the St. Patrick's Day content, which is going to be from March 16. They are going green with the St. Patrick's Day content. The Belfast skins have the green skin, the St. Patrick's skin. You are guaranteed 1,250 per crate. They did bring back the super prizes, and the Odin is having a global XP, or going to be available in the market for global XP, 750,000 XP to grab the Odin. That's going to change a lot there. They are adding 2 premium ships this update. The Duca de Okoska, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Orkan from Poland. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a very interesting update. I know they didn't add a lot of content, but it's going to impact the Bismarck and the Zuma. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.